To tell you the truth, I'm pissed off. I know it's preseason. I know I probably shouldn't be pissed off. I'm pissed off. Why am I pissed off? Because one, my coach is pissed off. Two, that was unacceptable. I don't care if it's preseason. I do not care what type of game it is. That cannot happen. That cannot happen. And I'm gonna just I'm going out of the ordinary here. I'm going out of order. I'm going straight to the post game comments on this one from Peter Laviolette. And we're not even gonna do a proper intro. You know what to do. Leave a like if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys are new. We're jumping into it. First of all, I apologize for starting the stream so late. Had a busy night after the game. Which first of all, good seeing Steven. Good seeing good viewer Matt as well at the game. That made it less aggravating, but Laviolette. So this is from Colin Stevenson. Laviolette was asked about if the Rangers are learning systems. And Laviolette said something that was music to myself and a bunch of Ranger fans' ears. And he said, still learning systems? Laviolette didn't want to hear it. Back-checking is a universal language. There's no system involved there. Finish your checks. Competing for pucks is a universal language. Execution has to be a universal language. Also, there's no excuses for that. And more from Laviolette. It was not good at all. There's just way too much missing in the first period. Mildly better in the second, but not good enough. And then in the third period, we decided to work and compete. That's an unacceptable first half of the game. Someone had to say it. There's no more excuses. No excuses. You cannot possibly justify, no matter preseason, whatever. Don't want to hear it. That game's unjustifiable, especially for a team that has aspirations that the Rangers do to go out there and win a Stanley Cup. And I know that the entire starters weren't playing, but my problem is that the starters for the Rangers looked, oh my God, did they look bad tonight? Oh wow, did they look bad tonight? Who do we want to start with, the goals, or do we want to start with who looked bad? Let's just start with the goals, honestly. Let's just talk about it. The Islanders almost had one really early on because that Lafreniere-Trocheck Panarin line was something else, to say the least. But Matt Barzal had a chance all alone to score one, and Quick ended up making the save. Barzal didn't even get really a good shot off of it. And then you get into the first goal, which gives all of us nightmares because Jean-Gabriel Pageau ended up netting it. Besides that, Lindgren already makes a questionable pinch in the neutral zone, but he ends up getting back and is still involved in the play. Brain Schneider decides to pinch up in the neutral zone. That cost them. Lindgren has to go out of position. Lafreniere's job all of a sudden in front of the net. And for whatever reason, Lafreniere decides, let me just go for a dive across the ice. And he goes diving on the ice like he's a penguin and doesn't even come close to breaking up the pass. Pageau's all alone in front, buries that goal. Lafreniere, but he wasn't even necessarily, that wasn't necessarily all. Because Artemi Panarin, oof, gives a puck right to who did he give that puck to? Was it Ross Johnston? No, he doesn't even give the puck to Ross Johnston. Ross Johnston, I don't even think touches it. You would think Panarin signed that contract with the Islanders because the puck ends up on Brock Nelson's stick. Matt Caldwell gets absolutely cooked. Brock Nelson nets the goal. 2-0 game. No compete from the Rangers in that period. No effort. Islanders would end up scoring yet again. And what line's on the ice? What line was it? Oh, yeah, none other than the aforementioned Lafreniere, Trocheck, Panarin line. And 2 bad plays for Matt Caldwell, who goes puck chasing instead of staying in front of the net. And it's just an easy wraparound goal for Bo Horvat. So what did we learn from that first period? No offensive zone pressure. That line sucked. Turnovers in the neutral zone. And then I don't know what was worse, the floods in New York the day before or the day of the game, the floods from the Islanders going through the neutral zone, because they went through the neutral zone way too easily. Terrible. Shots were 13-6 in favor of the Islanders that period. The Corsi that period, 62-37. Not good. Second period, though. Surely they'll look better in the second period, right? Nope. If anything, they arguably looked worse than the second period. How so? It took them 14 minutes to get a shot on goal. You know what? I'll give them credit on one thing. I'll give them credit on one thing and one thing only in that second period. They ended up somehow finishing that period with 8 shots on goal somehow, despite taking 14 minutes to get their first registered shot on goal. That's the only thing I can give them any sort of credit for in that period. But even then, Islanders make it 4-0 because Matthew Robertson and Matt Caldwell, both behind the net for whatever reason, and Cal Clutterbuck's all alone in front of the net, and he just taps one in. Because why be in position? Why cover guys in front of the net? Like, no. Let's not do that. That was a problem all night because the Rangers just did not stop leaving guys in front of the net all night. They did not stop doing that. Didn't stop letting guys through the neutral zone, like I said before. The Islanders had way too many opportunities. Had a couple odd man rushes too. But yeah, Johnny Brzezinski ends up getting the first shot of the period 14 minutes in. Hit a crossbar within the same sequence. Shots were 12-8 in the second period in favor of the Islanders. Don't know what to tell you. Rangers were ever so slightly better when it comes to the way that the Corsi was that period, which I ended up reading the wrong part of that. The Corsi was 60-40 in favor of the Islanders in the first. In the second, it was 65-34. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad, right? Not bad. The third period. This is at 5v5, by the way. This is at 5v5. Because the third period. By the way, also, Barclay Goodrow fought in the second period as well, if you guys want to laugh. And then he ended up getting the instigator on that, which I didn't necessarily agree with. Because, like Barclay Goodrow said in the postgame, I thought that Anders Lee kind of dropped the gloves at the same time as him. But I digress. I mean, it was a clean hit. There probably shouldn't have been a fight regardless from it. But yeah, he ends up getting a 10-minute misconduct. And then he ended up getting the instigator. Not that it mattered, because the Islanders could not do anything on their power play. Rangers took forever to get power plays in this game. I mean, it took them until the second period towards the end to get a power play. Did not look good. They got another power play later on. And you know Lafreniere had a bad game when he was pulled the plug on that first unit in the third period on the power play for Barclay Goodrow. And you know it was bad when he was playing, when he got demoted to play on a lower line and got less ice time, and Tyler Pitlick ended up stepping up the lineup. Yeah. Yep. That's something else. Something else. But where was I gonna go? Oh yeah, third period. It's okay though. Rangers make it interesting. Brennan Othmann in the third period, few minutes in, ends up scoring a goal. Ended up getting it right in front of the net. Just ends up getting through, whacking at it, getting the second chance there. Vinny Trocheck with the assist. And then all of a sudden, I really thought that the Rangers were actually going to pull a hysterical comeback, which, by the way, close. Jacob Trouba fires one on goal, and then the puck ends up bouncing around after Goudreau ends up putting it on, bounces around, Goudreau gets it on the second effort, and that makes it a 4-2 game. Lafreniere and Trouba with the assist on that one. And then later in the period, with the net empty, the Rangers end up scoring yet again as the puck gets dumped by the net, and then Will Coley ends up just tapping it in the net. VC and Trouba with the assist on that. And then, unfortunately, the Rangers started putting some pressure on, but they would end up getting the empty netter as, just Trouba tries to throw it on goal. They try to cycle the puck, and, And then Trouba just turns it over. Or no, he didn't turn it over. It was turned over by, who was that? Trying to wait for it to happen. I thought it happened earlier. I'm getting the plays mixed up. I apologize. Oh yeah, it was I think that was Mika that gave the puck up there. Lafreniere lost his stick trying to make a defensive play on Lee. He showed hustle though, don't worry. 5-3 game, and the Rangers cannot complete the comeback. So shots in the third were 12-8 in favor of the Islanders. At 5v5, Rangers still got dominated when it comes to the Corsi, but there wasn't a lot of 5v5 hockey being played. That's the only good news in the third period. So if you want to look at it that way, the Rangers did better in the third period, statistically. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to say that hasn't been said. Don't know what to say about Lafreniere. Don't know what to say about Schneider. I mean, Schneider looked bad, but I don't know what to tell you. Ben Harper's not any better. Matt Caldwell sucked tonight. Not much I can tell you. I mean, the analytics, too, the charts kind of suggest what the eyes showed, that Brennan Othmann was the best player, and Matt Rempe was one of the better players, too. VC was good. I agreed with that. Goudreau, I thought, was good. Charts back that up. Coley was good. Charts back that up. Even though defensively he wasn't great, which no one was. No one was. The only one that was statistically good defensively, according to the charts at least, was Jimmy Vesey. And then Mika Zibanejad. Just that I don't agree with. I thought, though, Mika Zibanejad left a lot to be desired. Schneider looked brutal. Lindgren looked brutal, too. Zibanejad, not good. Trouba, I mean, decent at points. Then was a tire fire. Pitlick, good at points. Tire fire, though. And then you got to the really bad. Lafreniere, Trocheck, Brzezinski. Edstrom, I didn't think as bad of a game as the charts say, but he didn't have like a great game. Harper sucked. That's not surprising. Hollowell sucked. Panarin sucked. Robertson is not a good defenseman. I digress. The eye test and the analytics kind of back each other up on this one. And Laviolette's right. There's no excuse for the lack of back checking, the lack of not finishing checks, just poor play. They looked soft, especially against a lesser opponent like that, that you just dominated. And not only that, but it's like, come on. Let's be real. If it wasn't for Sorokin, the Islanders aren't a playoff team last year. I know people argue that with Igor, but at least the Rangers at points look solid, and they do have a decent roster. They have a good roster on paper. The Islanders, though, if I was an Islander fan, I'd be concerned after they ended up almost blowing that game. I'd be concerned, but that's just me. I could care less, though, for the Islanders' sake. But for the Rangers' sake, all I know is that they couldn't make a pass in the game. From start to finish, could not play good at all in the neutral zone. Couldn't do anything in transition like they were starting to do in other games, or in the previous games. Couldn't get sustained offense except for when the goalie was pulled, when they had a power play, and then like one shift in the second period, and then like 2 shifts in the third period. So yeah, they got dominated in every facet of the game. And I hate to be that guy, but part of it's because they shot themselves in the foot most of the game. Because they were just not even making complete passes. They were making boneheaded decisions. Like, let's not act like the Islanders were the reason that the Rangers, that Artemi Panarin was like gifting the puck away for free, basically. Like, let's not pretend that was that. But the good news is there's only one bit of good news. It's preseason, so it doesn't count. And they have time to get it together for the regular season. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about how they looked in this game. But the only thing that I could hang my hat on and that makes me feel a lot better and that's going to help me sleep at night tonight is that we have a coach that's competent and that is not going to let this garbage fly on a night-to-night basis. I expect them to come out a lot better in the next game. So, yeah. And then, in terms of other things, Jonathan Quick sucked. Dylan Garand, I thought he looked really good in the third period. He faced a couple tough shots in the third period. Garand really needs to get an extensive look here at the backup role. Jonathan Quick has been bad. There's no way around it. There isn't. So, yeah, I digress. I mean, I don't know if I have much else to say other than Twitter's a freaking war zone right now between whether you want to defend Lafreniere or whether you want to rip on him. All I know is that he has sucked. Schneider has sucked. Zibanejad has not looked good this preseason at all. Panarin, I'm giving him a pass because it's his first game, but he sucked. I mean, everyone did, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about the fact that it felt like once Panarin was away from Lafreniere, he started to play. I'm not going to say he played good, but just a tad bit better. And it just feels like Lafreniere at this point is just hurting whoever he's playing with. But I don't know. I'm trying to hold out hope for Lafreniere, but it's so difficult when he can't even do basic things right. Like, I can't blame coaching for some of these mistakes. I'm sorry. I just can't. But let me get to the chat, see what you guys have to say. See if you guys are in agreement with me. Let's see. Laugh for MVP, what's going on? You might have to change that name. Yeah, that game was ass. Damn right, Luca. Matt, great to meet up at the game, dude. Plus, love Laviolette holding everyone accountable and not making any BS excuses. I agree. And yeah, it was nice meeting you and watching that third period with you for sure. We're going to have to hit up games this year. But yeah, it's a breath of fresh air to see a coach actually hold his team accountable. But regardless, this is just embarrassing. Yep, Othman is more noticeable than Lafreniere, Mike. Yep. You're right. You're right. It's so bad. It is so bad. Oh, Laviolette's not going to tolerate it. They're going... I wouldn't be surprised if they did gassers for that game. I don't care if it's preseason. I'd make them do gassers. That Trocheck, Panarin Trocheck Laffy line was garbage, and that's me being nice. Yeah. Not to forget just how bad we were in the neutral zone, both offensively and defensively. Our transition game was non-existent as well. Bingo. Bingo. Yep. Lafreniere was bad. Panarin was bad. Quick was bad. Yeah, Decision got placed on waivers. The guy that we thought was going to be called the Walmart Lafreniere has more goals than Alexi Lafreniere this preseason. That's fun. That's fun. The people who are now making excuses for Laffy are just lying to themselves at this point. He has played himself out of a top 6 role. Othman must be on the second line right wing. I couldn't agree more. It's not even a debate. It's really not. Colin Othman pleasant surprises. Yeah. I agree, Mike. I agree. Honestly, besides the first goal, I think Laff was decent. Obviously not good though. I can't agree, man. I'm sorry. I can't agree there. He was so visibly bad. Like, I can't justify anything he did in this game. Like, there was one shift where he looked decent, and even then, didn't get a goal, didn't get an assist. It's like, yeah, Jonathan Quick definitely wasn't any help either. Yeah, that's what I was concerned about. And people in my live stream, when they signed Quick, were like, it's a backup. Just let it be. It's going to be okay. Are we not realizing that, one, we're trying to take pressure off Igor Shesterkin here? Two, a backup still affects this team. He's going to play 15 to 20 games. And Igor's not going to go unbeatable. So you're going to have maybe some extra losses there that you don't want to have. Quick, I can't justify him being the backup on opening night as of right now. I'm sorry. I cannot do it. Cannot do it. I don't know whether to be happy or sad that a guy that's not even on our roster had to be the guy that started the entire turnaround, but good for Othman. Yeah. I mean, he's trying to play himself into a roster spot, and he is going to make it tough. He's got to be there on opening night at this point. I cannot. I refuse. I refuse to watch Lafreniere in the top 6, who's actively playing himself out of a spot, and I refuse to watch a situation that we've had the past few years where Barclay Goodrow's in the top 6, where Tyler Pitlick's in the top 6, guys like that. Like, I refuse. I refuse. And even Blake Wheeler, fine, you can live with them in the top 6, but I can't do it. And this season's going to make us appreciate Kaapo Kakko more, by the way. He has really been such a big part of this team so far in the preseason. I know it's only preseason, it's early, but this is what happens. preseason's part of it, and it's lesser competition. Lafreniere needs to prove himself against lesser competition, and he's just simply not. I'm sorry. I want him to thrive, and I want him to prove me wrong, and I hope that by the time opening night comes, or by the end of October here, since it's now October 1st, happy October, everybody. I'm hoping by October 31st, by Halloween, I could sit here and be like, Lafreniere looks like a first overall pick. Praying it somehow works. But I simply, from what we've seen so far in the preseason, cannot say anything positive about him. And if anything, things look worse. Things somehow look worse with him. Am I crazy for saying that? Am I crazy for saying Lafreniere kind of looks worse this year than last year? I know it's preseason, like I said, and I'm willing to give it time. But I'm saying, as of what we've seen, from what the small sample size, I understand it's very small, from the very small sample size that we've seen, it's bad. And he's dragging guys down, it feels like. I want to root for the kid, and I want him to thrive. I really do. I cannot express enough. I bought into this kid buying his jersey. Got rookie cards. You name it. I was all in on this guy. I've been ride or die with this guy until he put up no points last year in the playoffs. Then I started questioning him, and now we're getting to a point where it's snowballing more and more like, what's going on here? What is going on, and how can we justify this? And yeah, Lafreniere was to pass first on the power play, and then when that one opportunity arose where he should have passed the puck, he takes too long to pass it. Guess the rumors of Laffy taking the summer off were true. I mean, there was a report a year or two ago, I don't remember which offseason it was, that the Rangers were unhappy with this offseason work ethic. So it wouldn't surprise me if it happened again. And also, the Rangers tried to trade Lafreniere this offseason. I don't think that's a secret, considering the fact that it took him so long to get a contract. They tried trading him. I think anyone knows that. But how could Othman be better than Laffy? Othman has never scored as many goals against 15-year-olds as Laffy did. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Joe. You're right. When was Lafreniere's last goal? That's a good question. How long has it been since Lafreniere's seen the back of the net? Let's find that out. It's a very good question, because it wasn't in the postseason. So let's see. Let's see. The NHL website's wild now. Wild now. So, the last time Alexi Lafreniere has put the puck in the back of the net was April 2nd. That goal against Washington, where we were all excited and like, that's the first overall pick we want to see more often. That goal. But since March 11th, he has had 2 goals. Yeah. Yep. If I could still say that by the end of October, we have problems. That's all I'll say. Because it is, like I keep saying, it's still preseason. Yes, he should be capitalizing on lesser competition. But all I'm saying is right now that if I could still say that sentence, that he has 2 goals since March 11th, by the end of this month, by the end of October. Unless Garant's the real deal, laugh for MVP, yeah. But you could say that for the Islanders too. It's Sorokin. Like the Islanders, when they have Sorokin versus when they don't have him, they almost lost to the Flyers the other night. But Sorokin was there to bail them out. That's yeah. I know Islander fans, like the way that I was at the game, the way that some of them were behaving after that game was interesting to say the least, with Rangers suck chants and everything, which this isn't all Islander fans, but like for the ones that did that, like relax. It's the preseason, number one. Number two, your team was very close to blowing that game. And number three, your team's not really playing the best hockey here. I wouldn't say they've been playing the best hockey, but who am I? What do I know? What do I know? What were the? Can I find the expected goals for this game? I want to see what it was expected to be. Where would I find that? Expected goals for Islanders 2.49, Rangers at 1.54. So, yeah, I mean, that just tells you that Varlamov did not have a good day at the office, and Jonathan Quick did not have the best day at the office too. Same old Swiss cheese D. Quick never had a chance. Yeah, I'm not going to entirely blame Quick because, like you said, the defense really sucked for him. But Quick definitely deserves some criticism here. I mean, he has not looked sharp. Jonathan has not looked quick. I'll put it that way. Yeah, Othman does look like he belongs rich. It's unacceptable how Othman, who has never played a game in the NHL, looks so much more engaged and better than the guy who is a former first overall pick and is in a make or break year. Yep. Yeah. I can't say anything else. It's like I'm at a loss for words. We all want Laugh to shine, but no way way are you crazy. Like I said, it looks more and more like he did nothing over the summer. Yeah. It's scary. Which I don't understand how that could be after being a first round pick, unless maybe he's unhappy. Which if that's the case though, I mean the Rangers have to move him at that point, like if he's not happy, but at the end of the day, he still has to go out there and perform it, whether he's unhappy or not. Looked like Gallant Rangers tonight, no grit and stuck in the mud, yeah. Which Laviolette didn't appreciate, so that makes me feel a lot better and can make... that's really going to help me sleep at night, because if that was Gerard Gallant, Laugh for MVP, who's in the chat, actually put out a gold tweet, and I quote tweeted saying I could hear the table being tapped from that tweet because it sounded exactly like what Gallant would say. Here it is, Laugh for MVP. Gallant would have said, I liked our game. Their goalie made some key saves, but overall, I really liked what our guys did. Yeah. Yep. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. How long of a leash do you give Laffy when to say enough is enough? It's hard because I'm losing my patience more and more as he's having bad games. But I've been saying that he has until the trade deadline to prove himself here. Because if he's not good enough by the trade deadline, the Rangers have to move him. Have to. Those guys we walked by right outside UBS were clown. Yeah, those people were freaking interesting. Like, good on them, I guess, for having a good night. But like, relax. It's a preseason game. What are we doing here? I thought we were better than that. I thought Islander fans were better than that. Thought they hold themselves to a higher standard than that. Considering they have, a dynasty and everything, and the Rangers have won cup since World War II. So it's like I thought we were holding ourselves to a higher standard here, Islander fans. What happened? I don't know if I'd say Mika looks hurt. I mean, he did a bit. It looks like he's scared to make some plays, but maybe he's just being precautionary because he is a little banged up and because of the fact that he doesn't want to aggravate anything for the regular season. I don't know, but at the same time, he was making a couple of mistakes, like just not making basic tape-to-tape passes. But he wasn't Schneider, who was just icing the puck and taking his baby Trouba nickname too literally, like Statboy Steven said. Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. Those three guys I don't worry about too much. I would even throw Kaka on this list right now from what we've seen early. Laviolette needs to figure out how to shake this Rangers core out of the Quinn/Gallant system mentality, that whole way of thinking and playing. Yeah, he's really got his work cut out for him here. And we said it from day one when he was hired. I can't express enough how much he has his work cut out for him here, because that is a task that I don't even think Scotty Bowman could step in and achieve right away, or at least quickly. He really has his work cut out for him. And like I keep saying, if this core doesn't cut it this year, we are going to see, I could say it now confidently, you guys could go back to it, you could clip it, and revisit this in the offseason. But at the end of the day, I think we're all in agreement here, and it's not really something where it's like a hot take or anything, but I think it's clear as day that we're going to see a major shakeup with this team if this team doesn't thrive, because Laviolette's not the problem. So Harry Potter's the only wizard that could save this team at this point. Yeah. That's another quote that works. I haven't used that meme in a while. Why does Dolan always get what he wants? Man, like Goody would not have been here if it weren't for him, and he could have had Kane. Kane could still come back. We never know. Gallant would have pulled a buck and said he was proud of him. Oh my god. I can't with some coaches and managers. Again, I think these vets think they are too entitled and stubborn to buy into Laviolette's system. It's obvious the kids want their spots more. Send a message and demote them down the line. I agree with that. That's where I'm hoping that Laviolette's going to be more accountable, because, this team basically asked for a hands-on coach because Gallant didn't know what he was doing. They got their wish now, and now Laviolette's got to send messages and show this team that, I'm in charge here. Trouba may have the C on, but I'm the captain around these parts. You guys listen to me. Yeah, he has a lot to work here, Laviolette. Yep, Anthony, this is the point that I'm getting at, and this is exactly what Ranger fans need to understand. Couldn't have said it better myself. What the comment says is, this team better realize that Drury is done catering to the players and is starting to cater to Laviolette and get the players he wants. Yep. Yeah. Because if these players don't cut it for Laviolette and Laviolette doesn't like them, he's going to say to Chris Drury, I want these guys gone. And Drury's going to listen. He's going to cater to Laviolette, because Laviolette actually knows the game and knows what he's talking about. And if Laviolette, and this is the third coach, like I said, for for these players. So get it together. Yep, Rich. That at the end of the day is what I'm gonna do too. As mad as I am about the way they played tonight, it is preseason. They have to adjust. It's going to be a rough October with the schedule they have, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to wrap it up here, though, since it's 1 in the morning. I cannot believe we had 27 viewers, though. Am I worried about Panarin? As of right now, no. It was his first preseason game. He might be a little banged up. I'm not too concerned right now, but if things don't shift with him buying in the Laviolette, then I'll be concerned. But it's 1 a.m. I appreciate almost 30 of you guys showing up to a 1 a.m. stream for a preseason game. What is going to happen throughout the year? I'm excited. I'm excited with that, with the channel at the very least, because trying to do this full time here. I love to do this full time here, make this my full-time gig, but we'll see. Time will tell. I'm going to wrap it up, though. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I will see you guys in the next one.